All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the morning show. This is Stock Market TV. I'm Spencer. I'm here with Steve. I'm here with JC. And here the Fonzo full crew in the saddle today. YouTube is working, Andy. Do you see the video? Do you see the video? Because we are up. It's a big week, apparently. Did you guys know that? It's a very big week for markets and for news and for headlines. In addition to the continued swell of earnings, we have an FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Do we care about that? We have some kind of a tariff deadline. That's Friday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure the guys care all about that stuff. I mean, I care a little bit more than they do, but I'm sure JC doesn't care at all. We'll find out. In the meantime, here we are hanging out at all-time highs. So that's kind of where our focus is at the all-time highs. As far as today's show is concerned, we'll have Caleb Franzen on at 9. That's always fun. I haven't talked to Caleb in a minute, so it'll be good. And then Jason Purz, are you on today? I think you are, Jason Purz. It's going to be fun as well. Kenny Glick will stop by for a few, see what he's trading. Yeah, that's what I got. Oh, quick PSA. We are doing a special live event this Wednesday. JC is going live with the one and only Herb Greenberg, talking about this stock scam that Herb kind of fell down the rabbit hole of. He didn't get scammed. He was the one writing about the scam. And I'll drop the link in the chat right now. That's Wednesday afternoon. And actually, this stock had a headline just 5 minutes ago, I saw. Serious stuff. People lost a lot of money on this thing. They're going to talk a lot about that on Wednesday, kind of how Herb he didn't uncover it. Well, he kind of did uncover it. He kind of did uncover it. So that'll be Wednesday. It's going to be a good time. Check that out. In the meantime, I got JC here. I got Steve here. Let's bring them out. And if you're watching us on the YouTube, hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You know, I'm excited for Herb and JC's thing. I love a good scam.
Who doesn't?
America's great at scams. World leader in scams.
Yeah.
Herb is one of the world leaders in spotting those scams or frauds.
I like when you guys nerd out on the fundamentals, you know?
I think we're gonna soon.
Oh, you're gonna today. I should have mentioned that also. Oh. I forgot to mention that. Steve and Herb, 2:30 today on the channel.
Bang! There it is.
There it is.
Well, we're gonna talk about scams today.
Yeah, look at that.
Listen, scams are great, you know, particularly in not in every market environment, but definitely in some market environments, scams are really good. Like, who was it? Was it Soros? One of those was like, whenever you see a bubble, just go buy it as fast as possible. Who was that? Soros?
I think it was George Soros.
Like, buy with both hands, right? When you see a good bubble.
When you see a bubble, buy it.
Yeah, when you see a bubble, buy it, right?
I think that's Soros.
No, it's fantastic. And then, even us, like, we've been talking about China. It's like, oh, well, what if it's a scam? And you and me are like, well, hopefully it is, I mean, that would be great. It's not hard. As long as we own it, it's going up, like, good, We love scams so much, we import them from other countries. Yeah, no, it's a good call. I hadn't really thought of it like that. No, it's a good call. Other countries are better at the scams than America, though. So there's that.
I was just reading the smartest guys in the room on the plane last week. Don't really know why, but shout out Enron. Great American scam.
I don't know why I was reading that.
Great American scam.
Wait, the article?
No, it's a book.
Oh yeah, no, it turned into a book. Yeah. That's right. Okay, I've seen the movie. I haven't read the book, and I've read the original article.
I think there was a movie based on it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
What do we think? What do we think about all the SPACs?
I'm happy with it. I think it's fine. When I see the SPACs going up, when I see speculative growth stocks like the ARK index completing a primary trend reversal on a relative basis, we're talking about space and exploration stocks all the time. JC's talking about NFTs again. You know where my head? Chinese internet stocks are finally,
Dude, crypto punks,
embarking on a new uptrend.
200,000 for the crypto punks.
Listen to me. When all of these things together, when I build that puzzle in my mind, I'm like, ooh, 2020 again.
Spencer,
And
our internal SPAC hater.
I'm not a SPAC.
Hater.
Look, I just
Spencer
have
drinks all the haterade in the SPACs. You can't stand them.
Look, I just have PTSD from it all. It was all so absurd. It's a really, if you want to go public quickly, it is the easiest way to do so. And so many speaking of scams, so many crappy companies went public via SPAC, and you can say whatever you want. That's the beauty of a SPAC, is you can say, oh yeah, of course we're going to 20x revenue in 5 years. Of course we're going to do that. Yeah, of course we're going to take over the world. Yeah, by 2030 we're going to have $1 gajillion in our treasury. Yeah, you can say all those things because there are no rules. So,
it's a good point. This is a fair point from a commoner. As somebody who audited S1s, too many S1s. Like
explain to the kids what an S1 is.
It's a going public audit. It's the first one, so it's full of information.
An audit is not a filing. I thought it was a filing.
You got to go back 3 years and do all. It's a whole big exercise. It's a pain in the ass. In fact, it's a part of the reason why SPACs are so popular. Save $5-10 million depending on who you are, right? So, as somebody who went through that process, I think SPACs are fine. It's such a shit show.
Now, also, there's a reason. There's a quality filter situation happening here, where if you can afford that $5-10 million to get the audit and file the S1, something's probably going pretty well. So there's that. So there's a quality filter in a traditional IPO. Granted, there's plenty of issues that come with those, as we're well aware. But there's a little bit of I shouldn't say a little bit. There's quite the quality filter. And then, in addition to that, the other side, flip that on its head. In terms of like the worst companies SPACing, like think about it. If you have to SPAC, granted, it could be because you're trying to save a lot of money. But the truth of the matter is a lot of times because these institutional investors don't want your stock, bro, right? Like they don't want your stock. So you have to reverse engineer. You got a back door, like in the old days, like when we couldn't get into the clubs because we were too young and stuff like that. And we'd like go in with the DJ. Like we had like hacks, or we'd get there really early. So we were there for like 4 hours before the party got going. So they couldn't kick us out by then. Like there were like little tricks to get in. SPACs are kind of like that, Strazza. You see?
Yeah. That's a great analogy. It's the back door to the club. That's exactly what this is.
and for the record, I was probably the worst type of clientele to have at that club, right? Like I was like a young dude with no money, no girls. Like I was the worst person to, they did not want me there. And I was getting, I was there for the open bar like an hour before the party starts. Like I was that guy, when we were 19 years old or whatever. The SPACs are like that. Nobody wants you here, bro. Nobody wants you here, but they're gonna get in there anyway.
I bought a beautiful SPAC last week that looks like it's about to just leave the station here, and I like it so much. Can I tell you what it is?
Sure,
please.
DraftKings wants a SPAC.
Yeah, that's like the goal. That was the first. They did that before it was cool, right? SPACs.
Never looked back. By the way, never even retested its $10 SPAC level.
There are good SPACs. Like, don't hate. I mean, Spencer hates on all SPACs. I think most SPACs can be hated on, but there are some exceptions.
Not true. DraftKings.
Can we talk about the market? I mean, the SPACs are great, but let's get into it.
You started it. You started it. Jeez.
All right, guys. I missed you last week. I did. Markets are flying. We're enjoying it. The Dow flat this morning, up 30 points. You're looking at 45,120 for the Dow. S&P's up 0.25%, 14 handles. 64.40. NASDAQ 100, 40 bips. That's 90 points to the upside, 23,500 and change. 30-year bond futures slightly down at 113.5. Crude oil up 2% this morning, 66.5. Copper pretty much flat, 577. Wow. Gold down 0.25%, 33.30. You're looking at silver down 0.25%, 38.25, with the VIX 15. VIX at 15. And funny money land, Bitcoin, you're looking at 119 for the BTC. CryptoPunks pushing 200,000. I want to get to that in a second. Ethereum up a little bit, pushing 3,900. Wow. You got Solana 193.5, up 2.5% this morning. And total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.89 trillion. Is that sufficient, or is that not enough?
That's sufficient.
Spencer was doing the bit last week while you were out.
Nice.
He
nice.
kept it alive.
Highest weekly close ever for total crypto market cap, by the way. You know, our friends Josh and Batnick, you know, they thought I was a little crazy when I was like, $4 trillion might as well be zero. It's a rounding error. And then Batnick kind of ultimately came around to it. Actually wrote a blog post about it. He's like, that actually is nothing. JC was right. And then, but hold on. The $4 trillion in market cap, they're like, well, what should it be? And I agree with Louis. 10. The number's 10.
People are talking about Solana.
Solana Summer.
Yeah.
Solana Summer. Okay, so if you recall, a few, not that long ago, this must have been, I'll tell you right now exactly when it was, because Bitcoin was at 100,000, right? Bitcoin was at 100,000. This was a couple months ago. Bitcoin 100,000. CryptoPunks also at 100,000. And the question was, which one do you buy? Do you buy a Bitcoin so that you're a whole coiner, as they're going to be called in the future, is my understanding. When these things are in the millions, you know, like your rich uncle. Oh, my rich uncle is a whole coiner, right? That means they own a whole Bitcoin. Or would you rather own a CryptoPunk? CryptoPunk's 200,000 and change. Bitcoin's still under 120. It's a 5x return versus Bitcoin in that time frame. Interesting.
I have the right answer to this question.
It's because of the Ethereum.
No, it comes with a question.
Oh, okay.
Do you already own a Bitcoin? If yes, buy the punk, because the right answer is buying both.
Well, I had both at the time. I mean, I still do, but I had
I'm talking to everybody else. I'm not talking to you.
No. But this was a serious question. Like, this is a question that I'm literally asking myself. Am I doing this wrong? One's 100 grand, the other one's 100 grand. Which one do we want to own more of? And I didn't know the answer. I actually probably would have leaned towards Bitcoin between you and me. Here we are at $200,000 CryptoPunk.
I don't think just because punks finally are showing some life and going up again that was the right answer.
That's how the kids say mooning.
The right answer was own the Bitcoin first as an anchor, obviously, definitely, yes, and then add the punk as a high beta altcoin sleeve.
Yeah, I thought the CryptoPunk was more just like me being a degen and just like whatever, but as it turns out, that was the right move. Gun to my head, I probably would have told you. I think I did. Check the tape. I think I did tell you at the time it was probably going to be Bitcoin outperforming. But see, what do I know?
Well, you haven't sold them. You haven't sold them all yet. So
I haven't sold them. I did sell one for this for this lake house. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that, missing out on some gains. But I knew that going in. Spencer was like, "You can't buy memories."
Do you think the buyer or the seller of the home knew when you made a verbal offer that it was punk secured?
No, but I did go to the bank and I had to get a certified check, and I had just transferred money in from Coinbase, and the lady's like, "What's Coinbase?" I was like, "Oh, this is, centralized exchange."
You wouldn't know.
Send money from the decentralized exchanges. She's like, "What?"
It's gonna be funny.
It's a blog post. It's coming. Blog post.
It's gonna be funny when Coinbase buys one of these banks.
It was Wells Fargo. They're
gonna know
this lady's head was exploding. She's like, "Wait, what? A monkey? A picture of a monkey?" I had the whole bank there around the teller of telling them stories. I'm like, I got to get back to work. I got to go. I can't be sitting here lecturing you guys about CryptoPunks. What about this skew? What do you guys think about this option skew?
I saw your options charts.
It's not my options charts. It was Goldman Sachs.
I saw the retweet and I thought, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
No, not that one. Here. I mean, I'm not surprised. Just an interesting look. I'm not surprised, though. So this is the just the skew. This compares, puts in the calls. So it tells you what people are buying more of, selling more of. Goldman's out here talking about how it's actually pretty balanced. So you're not getting that, you're not getting that euphoric, call buying, right?
I'm good with this.
I mean, it continues to unwind, right? From that massive spike in the put call, right? So, you know, everybody, so just so you guys at home, right? So if you're wondering what the hell are these guys talking about? So humans are a funny bunch, right? We like to take advantage of the, you know, the poor choices that humans make. And humans, whether in the market or in life, they buy insurance after the storm hits, right? That's how that works. I remember being 10 years old, just 10-year-old kid, doesn't know nothing about stocks or markets or insurance, nothing. 10 years old, Hurricane Andrew hits Miami. You know, everything's a disaster, as you can imagine. Look it up. It was bad. And nobody had insurance. And then immediately after that storm, I remember everybody getting hurricane insurance. Everybody. And I remember being 10 years old, being like, that's pretty stupid. Shouldn't you adults that are so smart, shouldn't you have had that before the storm? And I'm 10 years old realizing this, right? And then, so here's the same thing. So the insurance in the form of put options in the market, right? Same exact thing. Once the market starts selling off, that's when all the insurance starts, you know, they all start buying the insurance. It gets really expensive. And then, of course, nobody needs insurance anymore, and those prices collapse, which is basically what you've seen here with the VIX going from 60 to 15, the fastest VIX collapse in stock market history, I'm pretty sure. Check the math. You math majors out there can correct me, but the fact that it's even in the conversation, even if it's not the biggest collapse ever or not, the fact that it's in the conversation really proves everybody wanted insurance after. Obviously, it wasn't necessary. Quite the opposite. Everybody wasted their money, and now it's still reverting, right? We're not at the other extreme yet. Far from it. I think is Goldman's point, right?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the road, which is where we should be and mostly are, in middle of a bull market. And if you're into investing in hurricanes, Generac
I was gonna say it's the same exact thing as insurance. My parents
just completing a beautiful trend reversal, taking out its VWAP from the prior cycle highs.
My parents got rocked by Sandy. What do they do after the fact? Went out and bought a generator, right? That's what
like
everyone did.
It's like a thing that people talk about in Florida. It's like one of those things like, hey, do you have a generator? Is it gas powered? Or you do the natural?
I just inherited a generator, 5,550 watts. Is that a lot?
These are big machines. I know nothing about them.
No, it's a little machine. It's a little guy.
Oh, then it's
probably
like
an ottoman that you put your feet on, except with all sorts of doohickeys.
Yeah, but they're heavy as hell, right?
Oh, I was told not to move it.
Good generator is like.
I was like, oh, so what do we do? We just roll it into the kitchen if shit hits the fan? They're like, no, you can't move it. I'm like, oh, okay.
People pay like up to 20 grand for these things. Like an electrician has to come and put them in. It's a whole
It
thing.
looks pretty badass. I mean, I don't know how to use these things, you know, but like it looks cool. It's in the garage. So I just inherited one of those. All right. I want to talk about can we talk about Japan? Because this is a big deal.
Yeah. We talked about it last week, I'll have you know. We didn't forget
I would certainly hope so.
Headline that we got on the breakout, right?
There it is. In the chat, per saying 5,500 watts is a lot. All right. Shout out to my new generator. I don't know what a watt is. So
Daniel has such a nice one. He says, I put my generator on my Tinder. Nice.
There you go. Nice, dude. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about generators, but I'm gonna learn. I don't even know. So Nikkei, highest prices ever. These are quarterly closes, by the way. New all-time weekly closes as well, but these are quarterly closes going back to 1989. In 1989, that park, it's not even that big of a park. I mean, with all due respect to the Japanese, I love Japan. I've never had anything bad to say about Japan. I'll take Central Park over their park any day of the week. But nevertheless, lovely park. That park, the real estate of that park was worth more than the entire state of California combined. All the real estate in the whole state of California was not worth as much as that one park in Tokyo. That was 1989. And of course, stock market crashed for the next 20 years.
Was the park in Tokyo? Because I've seen
Still is.
Okay.
Yeah, you should go get some sushi, go to the park, and then go get some more sushi. That's the move, right? So you sandwich the park with sushi.
Yeesh.
Double lunch, right?
Yeah. No.
So here we are, highest close ever. And then it's like, well, because of the yen, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you go to the next chart there? So Japan, this is priced in local currency. Shout out to our friends at Wisdom Tree. Shout out Jeremy. New all-time high. So this is Japanese stocks priced in yen, so hedged, new all-time highs. And then you price it in dollars, next chart. you price Japan in American dollars, you're getting the exact same thing. You're getting new all-time highs as well. Can you go to the next
which
one,
one
please?
do you buy is
Throw
the
up the Egypt
question.
and check. Throw up the Egypt and check.
I
So
was having
honestly,
this.
which one do you like? Which one do you buy? I like the Todd Sohn move. Todd Sohn is you can play Forex trader if you want. You could play that. Or if you just want Japanese stock exposure, why don't you just buy both? Split the difference. And now the denominators are a wash. You just own stocks in Japan.
I did half and half last week. Yep.
Right? That seems to be like,
what do I know?
The way he said that, I forgot when he said that, like last year or something like that. That resonated so much with me. I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. You don't have to worry about the currency now.
EWJ already looks like a failed breakout. And to be clear, I'm holding this forever, so I don't give a shit. And DXJ looks like it might be. Have not been able to stick it, as we like to say.
It's a big move, huh?
Japan, what's going on today that Japan's down this much? Spencer, do you know?
I mean, it had a week, didn't it?
U.S.-China trade talks have begun. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be nonstop trade stuff all week.
What a moment.
All week.
U.S.-China trade talks. It's the moment everybody's been waiting for, or have they not been? I don't know. I just don't know anymore with the trade war stuff.
I mean, who cares? I just can't. I mean, imagine like waking up in the morning and be like, I wonder how the trade talks in fucking China are going. Like, oh, I couldn't imagine.
You know, what's going to happen when this trade war runs out? We might need more fuel. Somebody might have to start a new trade war. I mean, the way international equities, all of them, the whole world have performed since whatever, Liberation Day, this is a historic run for international stocks on the heels of this trade war. So I worry.
And do you remember, not to like, take victory laps here, but it's more of a lesson. Like, do you remember going into the election, right? And, crypto was rallying and, Trump things were rallying, regional banks and all that stuff. Like it was, and then all the poly market was saying Trump landslide, right? So like everything was pointing to a Trump victory. So it's like, okay, well, what's the trade, right? That's what we do. What's the trade? And the logical trade as a human who thinks is like, well, Trump's going to be bad for China. You got to sell China, short China, right? And like that was what everybody just assumed. But we had already had that momentum thrust in September in China, where you had the biggest momentum thrust ever in Chinese stocks on an absolute basis, relative basis. I mean, so many thrusts for days. We had already had that. So it's like, well, the contrarian trade is to buy China and buy international in general. Like that was the contrarian trade based on positioning. Boy, did that work out well. Good lesson, because we're going to see that again. That's why I'm bringing this up. We're going to see that sort of thing again.
The bottom in China, JC, has been textbook in so many ways. It's been really it's been a prolonged accumulation, but for that reason, I think this thing's going to have some serious legs once it finally gets going. We've had some false starts out of that China reversal situation, right? It's been slow and sloppy, but that momentum thrust, like you're talking about, it's kept us on the right side despite it all. I don't think we've seen anything yet when it comes to the upside out of these stocks.
Yeah, I agree. We got Kenny in the house. Shall we?
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
There he is, Mr. Glick. Mr. Glick hitting the charge right off the bat. What do we got?
Did you say thrusts all day? That was my favorite porn in '82. What?
Nice, dude.
Yeah. What's shaking?
Didn't you guys just go to peep shows back then? they had videos of already at that point.
I'm so old. You had to stick your face into this like device. You put a penny in and you crank it yourself.
Dude, imagine how creepy these people must have been that used to do that sort of thing. Like that was like a real thing. These peep shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
All right, Kenny Glick, what do we got, my man?
Well, you're looking at open, but I want to show you my new favorite toy. It is wait, I already lost it. Oh, Wave. Where'd it go? Oh, VWAV. My friends, we got an IPO that just broke out. I don't know what this is, but Vision Wave Holdings. It's as if they created this company for me personally. Basically it's an IPO, and they do AI, and it's military AI, and I'm a fan. because I think this is the way that war is going to be waged in the coming decades, if not millennia. Robots, AI, cyborgs, all kinds of stuff, and that's what they do. And suddenly this stock just went nuts. So its high from last week was 546. If this thing's, I've already traded it once. Let me show you why. But if it's over 546, I believe it's lifetime highs. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy more. So forget about it. Look at this thing.
And then, do you think like it's just, this is one of those situations where they're using all the buzzwords of the day, AI and, you know, cybersecurity, and they're just like doing all, like in the 1990s, like late 90s, they just add .com to your company and it's worth more. Like we've seen that over the years. Is this that?
Oh, I hope so. Just like,
right.
It was my friend, because QuantumScape and Quantum Pharmaceuticals were all about what they did, right? We bought the stocks because the name Quantum was in the name.
Right.
And the stock went from 5 to 38. By the way, thanks very much, Guy, for pointing out how it wasn't a quantum company.
We appreciate all that value that they're bringing out there.
Right. If I was to come up with a company, this would be the company I would. And the name is good. Vision Wave. I'm digging it. Got a V in there. Got 2 V's and an A. I would name my company Space Rockets Robots AI Quantum right now. .com. And
.io.
Yeah. And you'd be all right. But there's no earnings to talk about today. We already came in hot because we all stayed long the queues because they were doing some shenanigans at the close on Friday. So, you know, some of us had some options on going into the close because we just keep ripping into the close. They pulled a fast one on us by selling it off into the close on Friday. And I was like, listen, we already made money on the 567s. Don't sell your queues. They'll gap them up on Monday just to rub salt in the wound for the people that bought the options late. So we got the gap, sold into the gap, and that's where we are. So, you know, a few of our names, that LiDAR stock, if you guys don't know, we broke all-time highs, then we broke all-time highs, and then we broke all-time highs again. So this is the one that NVIDIA mentioned, and it's just like Tom Lee seeing his shadow. NVIDIA mentions your company in a press conference, you're good. So NVTS, you guys know the last one that they mentioned, the stock went up about 700%. So why not LiDAR? You know, so far so good. We've been in this one for 3 days.
That is such a great call right there. If NVIDIA mentions your stock, you're good.
You're good.
That is such a great point right there. I love that strategy.
It really is.
Go to AI and be like, hey, AI, what is the next stock that NVIDIA is going to mention in earnings that it hasn't yet?
Right. That's all you need right now.
Do that?
As a matter of fact, if I was a company, I would pay NVIDIA. Just can you guys mention me in a sentence somewhere where you have nothing to do with you? Just mention my company. Just mention it. Just say you like us, you know, and that's all you need right now.
No, I love that. Kenny, just generally speaking, I was a little out of commission in the mornings last week. Kind of where's your head at in this market? It's a bull market. We're making all-time highs. Shut the fuck up and buy stocks. Are you looking to fade some rallies? You know, just generally speaking, not individual stock. Like when you wake up in the morning, what are you trying to do, my man?
Well, I'm keeping the balls right here. So
nice.
If you're thinking about shorting the queues, I will bash you. So
got it.
You're getting 7-minute interludes that you can stay short. Like if you shorted this morning, I guess, from the overnight, yeah, you could have got away with it. But the market's relentless. There is a bid under it that just does not go away. Every sell-off is met with an equal and greater move to the upside. Don't bother. And that's where we're at right now. So if you want to be nimble and quick, then you can play that short, but you'd rather just wait for the turn and rip everybody's heads off. And that's the market we're in right now. And, you know, Herb and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. He's looking for red flags. He's looking for reasons this market's going to run out of steam. He sees the dash for trash. All the things that used to point to a market that's kind of running out of steam, none of that works anymore. And especially selling in May and going away. That doesn't work anymore. May was the greatest month this year, and it was a great month last year. All of this stuff just doesn't compute anymore. This market is just relentless. And because of what happened on May 12th, May 12th was this massive power gap. People were still debating whether or not this market was, you know, you had to cover your short or get long. And on May 12th, your decision time, you waited too long. And now you've been on the wrong side of this market. And that's what this is all about. This grind higher since May 12th until we break that momentum. For instance, like if today we're gapped up, everybody's feeling complacently bullish. If we give up a day like today and volatility spikes, then hey, maybe that's something. But UVXY is disintegrating at a pace that I haven't even seen. This thing is just going to zero.
And then just remind the folks listening out there what a UVXY is.
Right on. UVXY is your gauge of fear for the day. It's kind of a VIX product. It's more about S&P put futures and all that. And it's a concocted ETN. But when it's strong, that's the only time you could expect the market to go down. And it's generally never strong. So keep your eye on it. But the disintegration rate right now is so enormous that it's just telling you that complacency is the way to be. There is no fear. And when fear comes back, UVXY will pop. And it won't be one for one day. When you see UVXY actually trend green, stay green, and have another green day, that'll be our warning sign. So until I see UVXY having a couple of positive days out of nowhere, usually it starts when the market's kind of strong, UVXY has an up day. Oh, that's kind of curious. And then the next day it follows through. That's telling you that the big players that move the market are starting to hedge on with some S&P puts. And right now, if by the way, if you do know about this product, it is shortable, and you can make a living just trading this. I said a guy doing that back in 2011. He texts me every year, once a year. He's like, thanks. So it's an amazing product. It helps you focus on your long trades, but at the same time, when it does have these anomalies of these monster 300% spikes, short into those moves, because this stock always goes down. It's a reverting product, just like the VIX, but this one's the worst of the worst. That's why it's important to notice if it goes green and stays green.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenny Glick. I love Kenny Glick, the day trader, and Herb Greenberg just getting along, having a nice little bromance. Talk about polar opposites in terms of strategy and execution. Just love it. I love to see it, Kenny.
I've been a fan of Herb. I used to read his stuff, and he speaks rationally, what doesn't work in the market anymore, which is why I feel for Herb. Rational thought. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever coming back. Maybe 2028.
All right. Kenny Glick, you heard it here first.
Peace. Oh, by the way, I'm out for the week. It's going to be open mic night at the Room. So we got hostile charts. We got Vaz. We got a lot of special guests coming in. So it should be a lot of fun this week.
Open mic night. Thanks for the invite, Kenny.
Yeah, you got to do a set.
Now I'm invited. I see how it is.
Hey, you're the corporate overlord here. I'm just a talent. I don't know. I don't make it.
The overlord. Nice.
Right. See you, Kenny.
All right, guys.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Glick, hitthebid.com, the legend, the grandfather of day trading. Nobody has been day trading longer than one Kenny Glick.
I don't know if that's true.
Can we throw up slide 2 here, and then we're gonna I know we got Caleb Franzen in the house. Caleb here yet? Is he
yes,
here?
He is.
Woo! Let's bring it out. This is a good segue. I agree here with the journalist and the sell-side analyst. When was the last time that I agreed with a journalist and a sell-side analyst at the same time? Here's the headline.
Great headline.
Bitcoin will go up if more people buy Bitcoin, and won't if they don't. Okay. Facts only.
This is as pretty much as snarky as the FT is going to get.
Okay? Dude,
great journalism.
Great journalism right there. Yes, agree with all of that. Wholeheartedly.
When did they get so smart over there?
I mean, is this the top of, is this it? It's all downhill from here. I'm never going to agree with the journalist or the sell side analyst.
To be clear, this is the FT making fun of Citi. Just to be absolutely clear about something.
Maybe.
That's
I can't attest to or speak to their incentives here. All I'm saying is that this right there, facts only.
Okay.
Vietnam is officially up 67% from the April lows. It's been up every single week. It's had one down week since Liberation Day.
This is the best performing country off the spring lows. Do I have that right?
Long dong.
Okay.
Oh, who's long the dong? Are you telling me that long dong has been working better than the short dong?
I can't even imagine how much these dongs must be worth right now.
Woo! Shout out Steve Strazza, long dong. Love it.
In dog.
All right, let's bring out Caleb, all right?
All right. Yeah. Yo, Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
It's nice show you got going here.
There he is, Mr. Caleb.
JC, what's up, brother?
I missed the long hair, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Do I have to bring it back? What are we talking about here?
I mean, you look like so like good and professional. Like you're looking good, man. Like
Thanks.
seriously.
I'm turning a new leaf here. You know, I'm trying to turn a new leaf.
I like how you look before like a cello player, you know, or like right?
I can still play the cello. Come on, let's go.
That's some fine china, Caleb. Where are you?
Dude, I'm actually at some family's house in St. Louis, Missouri. I got here a few days ago, so my European streak has come to an end.
Yeah, I could tell a mom lives
Are you
there.
going back, or are you here now?
No, I'm going back. I'm going back probably in like 2 weeks.
Got it. So you're still on your How long have you been out traveling around Europe?
I originally left like 2.5 years ago, March of 2023. And as you guys know, I was back last summer. We linked up at Future Proof, which was epic. And I've been back overseas since then. So I'm back now for a little bit.
Wow. Fantastic, man.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Should we just go right to the Bitcoin, JC, or?
What do you think about this FT headline? Bitcoin prices are going to go up if more people buy it, and won't if they don't.
You know, it's like there's going to be a sunrise tomorrow if the sun rises tomorrow. You know, it's one of those kinds of statements. So, hey, kudos to them.
The Earth keeps rotating.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. But I mean, look, it's a no-brainer, right? As more demand keeps coming in, I was talking with some family members last night about Bitcoin, and they had some kind of valid risks that they had diagnosed about it. But you know, we kind of talked through them, and it's like, oh, okay, it's a little bit more interesting to me now. So
let me ask you this: do you normally talk to your family about Bitcoin? As somebody who does not, I'm just curious: is this like a regular thing, or is this like a new thing?
Whenever I link up with family or friends in person, they're always asking me about the markets, and it just kind of depends on, you know, what their interests are, what they think I'm focused on, and they'll kind of shoot some questions over, you know. So it's pretty typical. But it's when
it's not a sentiment indicator.
No, it's when I get unsolicited texts from exes. You know, that's the big one here. You know, they're trying to slide back in my DMs, trying to curry some favor.
Still on that Bitcoin, sweetie?
Right? Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I got a text from my mother, not lying, yesterday at 10:28 a.m. We wanted to ask you today. We just got off the phone. Should we buy Solana?
Solana Summer, you guys talked about
but
it.
This is not a sentiment indicator because his dad's a junkie. His dad.
They're bad information.
Yeah.
How many dick butts does your dad own?
No.
Your dad doesn't have any.
He wishes.
Maybe if you would listen to your boy over here, you would have more dick butt exposure.
Man. No, but he dabbles. He's involved.
Crazy.
Caleb, are you staying away from the altcoins, or are you as excited as me?
I've been dabbling in a lot of the memes. So, you know, I'm getting involved here. I'm looking at a lot of the ETH DeFi projects. I'm looking at some Solana DeFi projects. You know, there's a lot of opportunities, I think, across the entire market. There's a lot of opportunities across the stock market, right? We're in an opportunity abundant environment. So this is the time to be alive.
What are some Solana projects you're interested in?
I was looking at Jito specifically, JTO. Looks pretty primed here for a little bit of a catch up, but working on a pretty decent base. So we'll see if it can resolve higher.
What is this? I own this piece of garbage.
Dude, all I know is it's Solana DeFi. That's all I care about.
Yeah, the Jito, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's those buzzwords again.
Isn't Jasmine one of those or no?
Dude, I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no clue.
All right. You know more than I do. I've been dabbling in, what did I buy? I added last night HBAR. I like the way Litecoin is set up. I like that it's Litecoin. I think these old legacy cryptos are having their time right now. And I really like the algo too. And I'll tell you, I got sick of the avalanche last cycle, but I think I'm going back. So I went back to the avalanche. You got a nice little tactical base here. We're about to take out VWAP. And that's one of those like staking traps.
Yeah.
I'm staking it.
The AVAX chart looks pretty good. I was taking a look at it, and I have a family member, I should say, who's heavily invested in AVAX. And I was like, hey, it's looking pretty nice here.
People used to say fantastic things about this one. I never hear about it anymore. So I'm not sure where we are with that.
It's a big one.
You used to hear comparisons to Solana.
Yeah, you did, because it was a little bit more like DeFi oriented, plug and play kind of thing. But you know, I like what you're talking about with these kind of like legacy products. I did a post in Q4 of last year when we were seeing like Tezos rip, Stellar Lumens was ripping, Cardano was ripping, and I was kind of talking about how the legacy altcoins, which were kind of these like utility tokens, there's really no utility there. So they're kind of like the original meme coins in a lot of ways. And so when those meme coins were really ripping, and then we started to see the legacy alts pump excessively, that was a pretty interesting sign. So I was looking at the XTZ chart, I was looking at the XLM chart, I was even looking at HBAR. And in a lot of ways, they're all kind of like XRP beta, just because they're all that, older legacy type of coin. So
and that's the way I'm thinking about it. When I'm looking through these charts, I'm thinking in my head, which one's going to, be like Ripple next.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Another one.
Caleb, I got Louis. You see Louis's notes this morning? He's reading the WorldCoin white paper.
Love it.
He says it's like 200 pages, and he printed it out and put it in a binder. Louis out in New Zealand reading the WorldCoin white paper. It's a little aggressive. Can't you just put it in ChatGPT and get the cliff notes?
I like that idea.
I like that idea way better.
Right.
We're
It's,
gonna have
it's
to have a little
2025.
conversation. What is it?
It's 2025. We gotta be with the times here.
Louis reading the entire white paper. That's insane.
He's got
any thoughts on the WorldCoin? I'm gonna go over to Paramus, New Jersey. That's the closest one to me. The orb, so I can get my WorldCoin and get my retina scan. I haven't done it yet.
bold move. Isn't that the Sam Altman company? I mean, I have no idea, but
yeah, it is. You don't think I should do that? Strazza says it's cool. I should do it, and he's the conspiracy theorist that would tell me not to. Are you telling me not to do it?
So he's the guy then. I don't know. Take his word for it. I don't want to have any liability on this one, JC.
I don't know. I thought Strazza was gonna be like, "Don't do it, bro. Don't do it." And then he was like, no, do it. I was like, oh, okay. I
think you do all the craziest things right now at this point in the cycle. Like if it feels crazy, just go like buying land in the metaverse. Just do it. Just sell it.
I did that once. It didn't work out very well for me.
I know, but your NFTs didn't work out for a while too. And look at them now.
I was trying to buy like real estate near Snoop Dogg's like property.
I remember. I remember well.
I was trying to be near Snoop because I was like, if I'm Snoop's neighbor in the metaverse, like maybe my real estate will go up more. That was just not a good strategy.
I think, as Caleb likes to say, we're so back. You can do all of the wildest things. You can really enjoy yourself out here.
Listen, we got Caleb Franzen in the house, and he brought over some charts. And I want to skip down. I know we covered it. If you could throw up the MicroStrategy BTC sitch.
Let's do it.
This was really interesting to me. You got some big players out there talking about this. It makes sense logically. Could it work? I don't know. What do you think, Caleb? Why don't you explain what this is for the folks that might not know what we're talking about?
Happy to. So in the top, we're looking at MicroStrategy relative to Bitcoin. So this is a relative performance chart of MSTR versus BTC. In the bottom, we're looking at BTC itself, priced in US dollars. And so pretty unequivocally, since the bear market lows in 2022, going into the bull market of 2023, there was a really tight correlation where MicroStrategy was outperforming BTC when BTC was going up, and then it was consolidating when BTC was going sideways and or consolidating. The interesting thing here is in November of last year, the MSTR relative to BTC chart peaked while BTC has continued to go up. So to me, that's a little bit of kind of this bearish divergence. I was talking with Steve when I was on the show back in February about how I had already exited my MSTR position. So I'm somewhat happy to see this divergence take place because it's representing low or none of an opportunity cost for me. But I think this is definitely something to watch because as we've seen a lot more new Bitcoin treasury companies come into the market, as we've seen MSTR produce all of these different securities based around this kind of like flywheel effect, if you will. It's pretty unequivocal that the demand for MSTR itself is starting to wane, especially on a relative basis versus Bitcoin. And I think that's a lot of signal.
Why do you think it is?
I would probably just say, first and foremost, Bitcoin, it's made new all-time highs, right? But this has been a very cool acceleration to the highs. I mean, we're 20% above its 200-day moving average for BTC. Typically, we see bull market peaks. Since 2023, a lot of these local highs have occurred between 45 and 65% above the 200-day moving average. So yes, we've made this big thrust, but we've really just kind of been in this broader sideways consolidation with an upward bias. And I've been talking about this a lot, consolidate but up, right? And that's basically what we've been involved with. And so with MSTR being high beta, it's going to struggle in that consolidate but up environment. We really need a lot of decisive price action to the upside.
I'm betting on a big catch up. I just find it hard to believe that as we enter the later stages and we're talking more about NFTs and the altcoins outperforming, that the risky Bitcoin vehicle starts underperforming. I don't think we're ready for it.
Look, I think you're still going to make money in MSTR. Now it's just about picking the fastest horse in the race and risk-adjusted returns if that's important to you. If you don't care about risk-adjusted returns and you only care about returns, by all means, still take your swings. I think one of the interesting things also here is obviously as ETH BTC has made this rip roar move off the mid to late April lows, and now we're seeing some of these Ethereum treasury companies coming out, right? So Tom Lee is involved in BMNR. There's SharpLink Gaming, I think, is the other one, SBET. So, you know, crypto as a whole is a narrative-based shiny toy kind of environment. And so as the new shiny toy is becoming Ethereum again, we're seeing that attention shift and we're seeing capital flow into that direction.
I think that there was a coin premium with MicroStrategy in the sense that Bitcoin was the one you really wanted to be in, and MicroStrategy gave you direct leverage to Bitcoin, unlike some of the other equity market vehicles like Coinbase, which would give you more direct leverage to the altcoin market, for example. So that was going for them. And then there was a vehicle premium.
Yeah.
I think built into MicroStrategy in the sense that we didn't have the ETFs. We didn't have the spot ETFs. We didn't have all these options. We didn't have Ethereum ETFs, right? So now there's just plenty of options for advisors to, you know, get exposure, or institutions to get exposure to crypto, to Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is no longer the only game in town.
Yeah, I mean, there's basically the same amount of capital chasing more securities. So naturally the demand for all of them is going to be a little bit diluted.
Michael Saylor realized when he was touring the world bragging about smart leverage that everybody was going to copy him and the premium would evaporate from his own stock.
I don't know. He's a pretty smart guy, so I'm sure he thought through that to some extent, but maybe he didn't expect it to be this significant. Who knows?
Michael Saylor.
Can we pivot? Can we pivot to a little more TradFi here? I saw you brought a chart of credit spreads. Very
I did.
Curious. You know, the classic TradFi bros are like, finally.
Right.
And then the degens are like, what are credit spreads, right? So you see, this is the dynamic that we bring here, right? Very well-rounded. Very well-rounded.
Thanks, man. I try to be. So, I mean, I think the key thing here is obviously we're seeing the VIX really cool down. We're seeing that basically make new year-to-date lows. I think the next step is we're going to see the same thing happen for credit spreads. I think that's a massive signal here. Basically confirming the nature of this bull market, confirming the uptrend that we're continuing to see, continuing to affirm the increase in risk appetite, right? And that's huge. So as this chart is going down, I didn't bring this one with me, but if we invert this chart and overlay the S&P 500, they're basically identical, right? Because as the market is perceiving lower risk, we're going to see equities continue to push a lot higher. And so as we think about the broader market environment that we're in, maybe we don't feel the need to put the pedal to the metal here. But if you're short, if you're fading this bull market, I think that's highly irresponsible, right?
High yield bonds just by themselves look fantastic. That's a good thing. Go look at HYG. That's a brand new trend reversal. Brand new.
I actually wanted to look at this morning and I forgot, but how does like the HYG relative to short duration treasuries chart look?
Probably breaking out. Let's see.
To short duration or like equally like an HYGIEI?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Highest level since February. It looks a lot like credit
It looks
spreads.
exactly like your credit spreads chart upside down.
I brought with me a chart of small cap growth to value. It's IWO relative to IWN. If you guys have that one up, I think that'd be a good one to tie that in here. This looks like one of those breakouts that Steve has been all over this entire bull market, where we're getting these accumulation breakouts leading into the next phase of a bull market. Look at the chart of ARKW, look at the chart of ARKF.
Yep.
When they achieve these breakouts, that's when we really ripped, right? And so now we're seeing the same thing take place for growth relative to value in the small cap universe, while large cap growth to value is basically at the highs. I think it already did make new all-time highs, right? So maybe small cap summer as well, right?
Even the worst growth relative ratios are now completing trend reversals looking like this. This reminds me of like ARK SPY right now.
Exactly.
The good ARKs completed trend reversals versus the broader market last year.
It looks like ARK Absolute, but yes, ARK SPY, but it looks like ARK Absolute too. It looks like, you know what it looks like? Throw up slide 3 there quickly. Looks a lot like this, guys. Hate to keep coming back. We'll get back to the TradFi now in a minute, but it looks exactly like this. Looks exactly like that, doesn't it?
Nice.
Look at that. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
Stop talking your book, JC.
What a base.
I don't know who else's book to talk, right? Like I can only talk my book. Like other people's books are not my problem. But tell me it doesn't look exactly like this.
Looks similar.
I just hate how ugly is this fucking chart, Caleb? Tell him.
No, I know.
I mean, the absolute worst. This is the worst looking chart. Is pink the only option, or that?
Somebody call me. Listen, if you're out there listening, I own NFTcharts.com. We can get it moving. Give me a call. Have your people contact my people. Maybe we could do something, because this is ridiculous.
We gotta fix
I agree with
this.
Strazza. We got to do something nicer. Can we go to slide 31? I think this is an excellent chart. This is Caleb Franzen's best chart that he brought today, in my humble opinion. Best chart right here. Caleb, nice job. We're looking at commodities, and we're looking at the.
Can I see the chart?
Yeah, throw up the chart, guys. There it is, and we're looking at this volatility compression.
Wait, like a tiger.
Toy like a toiga.
Yeah.
Tell me more, Caleb. Tell me more.
Well, look, I didn't bring this chart. This one's new. So I actually.
This isn't yours?
No, I haven't seen this. This has your guys' branding
dude,
on it.
I can't believe I just did that to you. I just called this out for your best chart. It's not even yours.
It's all good, man.
I should have seen that All-Star Charts logo and known that it was Jason. My bad.
No, it's all good. Look, commodities, I'm really not keeping a pulse on it. So you guys are going to have to talk about that one with Jason.
I'm like, oh, Caleb, sweet chart. But throw up slide 27 and we'll stick with this intermarket because this is an interesting story too. And then we'll come back to this. So sticking with the intermarket theme here, you know, when you think about, you know, the stocks versus bonds, should I be in the stocks? Should I be in the bonds? This answers that question, right?
Well, you got to be in the stocks 100%. I mean, I think you're an idiot if you're doing otherwise. If you're shorting stocks and you're long treasuries.
It depends on your time frame. It doesn't mean you're an idiot. There's a time and a place, you know?
Well, for the last 5 years, there's been a time and a place to own stocks and not treasuries.
Well, oh yeah. Yeah, it's just saying relative. Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly. I think one of the interesting things about this, right, is like I obviously sound very bullish. We all sound very bullish. The interesting thing here is we could see a consolidation in stocks relative to bonds and achieve that kind of breakout, retest, rebound dynamic, rebounding on the prior highs, and then get the continuation back, right? So I want to just kind of remind everyone, even if we see a consolidation in this market, it would be perfectly normal bull market behavior to have that kind of dynamic, and that would provide us a really nice kind of buy the dip opportunity if and when it does come.
You don't think this sentiment in treasuries is on another level? This positioning, commercial hedgers longest treasuries like ever. Like, you know, there's some serious positioning. Everybody just assumes interest rates are going to go up.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So what do you think? You buying these bonds?
I'm not buying the bonds. I just want to buy long duration risk assets, you know?
Right. So because those will do well in a falling rate environment, and bonds will do well in that environment too. You're just not buying the bonds, you're buying the equities.
Yeah, by buying the long duration risk assets, I'm banking that this trend for SPY relative to TLT is going to go up regardless of what TLT is doing, right? Yep. And I think that's where I really want to align myself. And I don't know. I mean, it's just like, one of the interesting things, I remember being on your guys' show in November of 2023, and I remember because I was in Albania at the time, and we were talking about how the market was thinking that rates were going to keep going up. And JC, you kind of put a gun to my head and you said, are rates going to be lower or higher? I forget over what time frame, and I said lower, and you loved that call, right? And basically since then, we've just seen rates kind of consolidate sideways, but there's been this really kind of broad dynamic. If you look at the 10-year treasury yield, though, that's been making lower lows and lower highs now for basically the past year and a half. And so when we're looking at that chart, right, what we're seeing is, you know, we're starting to see this shift back, you know. And so one of the interesting things, actually, you know, I hate to talk about the Fed sometimes, but I also love it. This market has been on fire, even though we've seen rate cuts get pushed further and further out into the future. So first and foremost, that's telling us that the market is not dependent. Let me be very specific, that this bull market is not dependent on imminent rate cuts. And that's super important, right? And so whether those rate cuts come in 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months, I don't think it matters. The market is just focused on the fact that rates are going to come whenever that is. And of course, that should bring lower term rates down. And, you know, the Fed doesn't really have too much of an impact on the long end of the curve, but it's still going to have somewhat of an effect.
I think this is such an important point. You have these, you know, incredibly interest rate sensitive stocks out here. And despite whatever the expectations are, 95%, right, for no cut at the next meeting, banks are ripping, biotechs are ripping, speculative growth is ripping. The home builders last week, you know, had a great, at least start to the week, despite what's going on in the bond market. Imagine if and when they start cutting. I think that's incredibly constructive. What are some of your favorite, like, what are the groups you look to? I have like my basket of interest rate sensitive stocks that I'll look at to kind of get a read on this stuff. What are some of the groups that you think of when you think of, you know, really stocks that are impacted by the bond market most?
I want all the software. I want all the cybersecurity. I want all the Bitcoin. So like that's my entire portfolio are those things.
The better when it comes to software, probably.
Probably. I mean, you could look at the relative performance of ARKW versus IGV, and that's obviously been on fire. But I'm happy sitting in the IGV type stocks. Give me all the mega cap tech, give me all the software, right? So if you guys want to take a look at this one, I brought a chart of IGV relative to equal weight S&P 500. So IGV versus RSP. This just made new all-time highs. And so that's telling us unequivocally, right? I mean, look at that production of lower highs in 2020 and 2021. Really kind of signaling market weakness. And obviously we've been making all these higher lows since the end of 2022. You'll also notice we are not producing lower highs. We're producing new all-time highs. So we do not have a signal here of decreasing risk appetite. We do not have a signal of waning risk appetite. That's super, super important. And so if we're going to expect that this trend is going to stay intact, and by the way, this chart goes all the way back to 2017, right? It's basically been consolidating for 5 years and it's just breaking out now, right? The longer the base, the higher in space. I mean, it's time to party here.
I think.
You think it's okay to compare this to the equally weighted S&P? Are you reaching here a little or no?
Well, I mean, take a look at look, I don't know if I'm reaching, because, you know, one of the things I wanted to also highlight here is if we look at software relative to just the S&P 500 itself, this has not made new all-time highs yet. So I think we could have a little bit of a catch-up perhaps. But in a universe where we have to make a selection of the S&P 493 versus the Mag 7 or IGV relative to the 493 or the Value Line Geometric Index.
Is there a 493 ETF?
No, there's not actually.
Like a double leveraged 493 ETF?
3x leveraged inverse 493. Yeah.
I mean, you know.
That'd be sweet. But look, I mean, this is just telling us about opportunity costs. And so of course, you know, IGV relative to SPY is going to be a little bit weaker here than the equal weight S&P 500 relative chart. And that's simply because this is really going to be considering the Mag 7 outperformance, right? So when we adjust that and we basically mute that impact of the overweight exposure to the Mag 7, and look, I want to own the MVPs of the market, right? But this is now telling me unequivocally that I should be owning software relative to quote unquote the equal weight market.
No, I'm totally with you. Trying to play a little devil's advocate because I don't like.
I love it.
With everything you're saying, so just trying to throw a wrench. But no, you're spot on. Let's play a little game. It is now July the 28th of 2025. We got about 5 months left in the year. What is the best trade between now and New Year's?
The best trade between now and New Year's.
Long or short, any asset.
Look, I just want to be super long Bitcoin. I think.
All right.
I don't know.
Alts, BTC specifically.
Yeah, I mean that's enough for me. I think we're going to 175 this cycle, if not more, maybe 205. And so, you know, I'm happy to sit in that. I have like 75% of my net worth in Bitcoin itself. And so if that party, you know, does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be a great time. So,
all right, drinks on you. Next time I see you in California.
Exactly.
Any thoughts on Solana? Are you long Solana or you don't care about it?
Solana looks good. The problem that I have with it right now is, I mean, it was basically consolidating for an entire year relative to Bitcoin, and then it broke down. And so we're still trading below that breakdown range. Steve, I love your scoop and score setups. If we achieve that kind of dynamic and break above the consolidation lows, you know, I'd be happy to get involved with Solana again. But right now, I think from a short-term trading standpoint, I want to just be involved in all the beta stuff, right? So within Ethereum, I don't own any Ethereum, but I'm rooting for it. Why? Because all of the best phases of the Bitcoin bull market occur when ETH is outperforming BTC. It's that simple. So I have no grudge. I'm not rooting against it. I'm rooting for Ethereum, even though I own none of it. And so it's going to be the same thing with Solana. But from that standpoint, from a short-term trading standpoint where I'm still involved, I just want to own the beta. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to be bullish on Solana, I'm going to own Popcat. If I'm going to be bullish on Ethereum, I'm going to be long Pepe. And it's super degenerate type of stuff here, but hey, it's a good time.
There's the animals again. I'm telling you, you got a frog, you got a cat. I'm telling you, you got the data dog, you got the sound hound.
I like Datadog, by the way. That's a great company.
I mean, listen, if the company has a name, an animal in the name, you know, this is the kind of market where, you know, that adds alpha.
Bullish animal spirits, huh?
Yeah, you know, pun intended there. Caleb, why don't you join us in Toronto in a couple months? Why don't you come out?
When are you guys going to be there?
Mid-September.
I could try to make it.
Yeah, I'd love to have you. That'd be awesome.
Dude, I'll probably be up in Philadelphia in about a week and a half, so I'll hit you up privately and we'll try to link up if you're around.
Sounds good.
Cool, bro. Thanks for having me, guys. It's a blast as always.
You got it. All
Peace.
Right. Caleb, in America. What do we think about that?
It's great. Caleb, one of my favorite guests to come on the show. He's always, you know, just in the weeds with crypto, thinks really hard about his portfolio and kind of what he has exposure to. And Love our conversations.
I love that. I was like, oh, Caleb, the best chart you brought. It was Jason's.
Nice chart.
Jason Furz's chart.
Yeah.
Jason, why don't you bring? Oops. Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? Bring them out. Bring them out. All right, there he is.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, dude?
What's up, Steve? What's up, JC? Spencer? How are you guys doing?
Stocks are up. Commodities volatility is not up, as a matter of fact, as it turns out. Historic compression there, huh?
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
Did you see this? Hold on. I just one headline for today. Missed this earlier. We keep talking about these treasury companies. Did you see this one today? Vape, VAPE. Up. There's an excellent article in the Wall Street Journal about this weekend. By the way, it's something like $10 trillion have been raised for, or $10 billion have been raised for these treasury companies. Vape, CEA Industries, and 10X Capital, with the support of YZ Labs, announced $500 million private placement to establish largest publicly listed Binance treasury company.
450% up this morning.
This one's buying Binance now. Sorry, Jason. We're just gonna keep seeing this until it stops working.
Oh, I mean, it's animal spirits, man. It's people. There's a funny article today talking about the end of the bull market, and it just seems like it's just getting started. I mean, this is what we want to see, really. Like, yeah, these things are going to consolidate. There's going to be pullbacks. There's going to be, everybody saying this is the end of it because it's going up, and obviously everybody has to think that. But like, man, we're seeing this over and over again, whether we're looking at the commodities were one, the gold miners, gold sector, and then we're moving into technology. Then we're moving into copper miners. Now it's back to speculative tech, international stocks, like whatever you want to trade right now. A lot of things are going up.
Wow. Just wow. All right. Talk to me about your charts. Throw up the commodities. We're getting tight out here. Sorry we buried the lead on this one for you. Beautiful chart. What's going on here?
So when we're looking at this is something that, this comes up on my scans all the time, which is like Bollinger Band squeezes, one of my favorite patterns to look at. And we continue to see this like over and over again, month after month. We were in a Bollinger Band squeeze for the CRB index. CRB index is basically oil, gasoline. Like, yeah, there's other commodities in there, but it's heavily weighted in energy. So seeing this kind of consolidate, get ready to break out higher, like that's something that, should excite people if you're looking at that energy trade, if you're looking at that oil trade. Like, this thing's been dead. It's been boring. And obviously the Bollinger Bandwidth is telling you that. So just to elaborate on that a little bit, low volatility usually leads to high volatility. High volatility leads to low volatility. It doesn't tell you direction, but if we're looking at this as a primary uptrend, and then we're looking at a consolidation and then a new breakout, like I'm going to bet on this thing moving higher. So I do think this thing is about to break out, start to move higher, and probably happen pretty quickly.
So we're buying energy stocks?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about time. What do you think, JC? Are you thinking energy here?
I just continue to look at the ones that are already working. Imperial Oil is the best oil and gas stock in the world. It is making new all-time highs as we speak. So I don't give a shit. I mean, I do, but like in this particular, just, thought process, oil's doing whatever, commodities are doing whatever. Imperial Oil line goes up. Like,
we got to always take the price first. That's what we do best here. Looking at the price first, understanding where we want to be, where the relative strength is. That's always important. And even though people are going to go, well, that one's already leading, I want to buy the one that's cheap. Like, those are the ones you want to be in. Those are the ones that usually continue to lead, continue to make money. So I think that's somewhere where you want to be and continue to be in these, the ones that have relative strength. Those ones are going to continue to lead. Oil's probably only going to support that, make it go high.
You make it sound like there's all these oil and gas stocks that are showing relative strength. There's nothing.
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Like Imperial Oil, it's like on its own island.
Compared to oil, there are. Compared to the S&P 500,
compared to oil, anything looks good.
Anything looks good. You could buy just about anything, and it's probably up compared to oil. But once again, it's more of a like, hey, look at this. Continue to buy the leaders. Am I ready to buy XLE at the moment? No. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So we could just hop through the charts. I basically just kind of covered energy completely. So we could just go to the next one and just hop on through them. Steve, I think you're on mute.
I mean,
Do you have
sure,
a preference among the energy subgroups?
refiners? Duh.
No.
What do you mean no? Those are the best ones.
What do you think, Steve?
Is it oil services or exploration and production?
It's the refiners.
No, dude, they're defensive. Okay, they've been working the whole way down. They're not going to be the leaders on the way up. They're not. It's going to be.
I don't disagree with that. But they're the best ones now. They've been.
If you're preparing for a bounce in energy to assume a new leadership role, I think it's not like a leap to make to think that the risk-on groups will be leading the way.
Yeah, you got to be buying offshore drillers, right, Jason?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
The smaller, the shittier, the better.
Yeah.
Look at the bases in some of the oil field services companies too, though. I think there's stuff going on in that space. You know, BKR looks fantastic. You want to talk about the best looking energy companies out there. That one's already going. Now look at these tactical bases in the industry leaders, Halliburton and the Schlumberger. They look fantastic and they haven't gone yet. So there's a lot here in energy. If you feel like getting cute, you can pick these tactical bases. We did it last week with ConocoPhillips. I like the catch-up trade in energy.
Dude, I remember where I was in 2008 as energy was making that high that we're still below. How long ago was that? 17 years ago, bro. Yeah. 17 years ago. Man, think about that. 2008, I was 26 years old.
And it was a huge melt up. And then we just we've never really gotten to move higher. Yeah, in 2014, we hit a new high, but it was just for a second. And then that sector's been dead for a long time, basically till 2020. Then we had the best 4 years in energy under Biden. I think it was the best spider sector for 4 years. And now we're kind of sitting at this point. Can we do it? Can we break out? And I think so many people, I think the big thing that people aren't thinking about right now is that so many people are frustrated. They hate this trade.
Yes.
It's continued to just make it a false breakout over and over again. People hate it. If you're a trend follower, you're buying, let's say you're systematic, you're buying 100-day highs, you've gotten killed over and over again. You're just technical, you're buying breakouts, you've gotten killed over and over again. You're fundamental, you're buying dips, you're getting killed over and over again. Whatever it is, it's just not working for you. So I finally think so many people are shaken out and hate this trade just enough to make it work. Like that's the biggest thing for me. Let's go back to
you see it in the oil. By the way, you see it in the short interest. You see it in the oil and gas services, super high short interest, explorers and producers, the whole thing.
It's gonna explode. It's gonna explode. Let's go back one chart too. The cycle chart. There we go. So, you know, this is the one, and I'm sure you guys on the show have seen it, or anybody on the Gold Rush, you guys have seen me talk about this a bunch of time, but this is the cycle. This is just using a KST, which is basically a rate of change and a little bit smoother.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you putting up a KST?
Oh, yeah, dude. I love the KST.
Wow.
It's simply
Martin.
It's simply Martin Pring's. It's simply Martin Pring's version of a MACD. It's very slow moving and doesn't give you many false signals.
I don't think I have seen somebody use a KST on their charts in.
It's a lovely indicator. I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that is. I just want to.
Who knows?
Know your thing. No sure thing. KST. No sure thing.
I was just gonna ask. Who knows what it stands for?
Yep.
Yeah. No sure thing, but no as in KNOW. No sure thing.
And
shout out Martin Pring, by the way.
I love Martin Pring, man. He's so good at what he does. His intermarket analysis book, all of his books are phenomenal.
Excellent.
So for you guys who want to read them, but man, great stuff. But
dude, I used to watch his videos, and he would end every video with "Good luck and good charting."
Yep. Good luck and good charting. Yeah.
Good luck and good charting.
Yeah.
And the reason why I use this so much, especially in the long-term cycle work, if it's monthly charts, if it's long-term cycles, like I love to use these because it just kind of smooths it out. Like Steve said, it's just there's not many false signals. And what we're seeing here is that we've got our signal in gold. Obviously, that moves first. One thing we know about the cycle, gold moves first. And then basically that started in January 2024. And we saw copper start to move. Copper is making a nice move now, breaking out to new all-time highs. Now we're looking at oil. Now, oil always moves last. Everybody goes, the cycle's different. We're in a new economy. Solar is taking over, this and that and the other thing. And next thing you know, oil starts to catch up because guess what? We still use a lot of oil in the world. We still use a lot of coal in the world. A lot of people don't know that, but we definitely use, I think coal's the biggest producer of energy in the world to this day. So once again, oil, I think is
that true? Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. It was 2 years ago. I haven't looked recently, but somebody could check that out and check me on that. But
this is a great chart, Jason. There's a lot going on, but it speaks to me, and I love it.
Yeah, I didn't use the vertical line, Steve. I'm getting better with that. I got.
Why
some.
you hating on the vertical lines?
I like the arrows.
Steve likes the arrows. Steve likes the arrows.
Arrows instead of the vertical line showing the crossovers.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
why
I get
are the arrows blue though?
Just leave it alone. It's a good shot.
All right, man. I'm starting to use the arrows. I'm working on it, JC. Come on.
I love it. I love it. I don't mind, especially if the vertical lines are like a light shade of gray that don't like interfere too much with what's going on. I don't mind those. I don't know why Strazza is such a hater.
That's what I try to do. So, but I also understand on different strokes, different folks. But at the same time, like I think here is like a great point to just get an understanding. Like, okay, oil's going to move. Do I want to buy oil today? No. Do I want to keep it on my radar? Start looking at stocks like JC's talking about, Steve's talking about, ones that have relative strength. Yes, I think that's important. And then so finding those, getting ready to buy them on either breakout zones, however you trade, I think that's going to be important. So oil, I think, is going to be up next. I think it's going to move last. And so it's the same thing. Like, I just think everybody hates this sector. Everybody hates this trade. Everybody, even who's a commodities trader, is going like, hey, the rest of them are moving. Who cares about oil? It's probably not going to move. Gasoline looks dead. Oil looks dead. Heating oil looks dead. Let's just move on to the next thing. Natural gas even looks bad right now. So everybody's just kind of moving on from the energy trade. I think it's a great time to start looking at it.
I like it. Recess.
Sure.
Do it.
Hey, I got a quick one. I played golf this weekend. It was lovely with actually a client of ours. So nice.
Okay. Golf is good.
Has anybody ever had a breakfast cannoli? So bullish.
Breakfast cannoli.
Breakfast cannoli.
Oh, that's what you're eating?
Yeah. Have you ever had one?
I don't know what it is.
It's eating a cannoli, but for breakfast.
So stop it. Stop it. A breakfast cannoli, hear me out, is a regular cannoli that you eat in the morning for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Sure. Sounds great, man.
Cannolis are breakfast foods. I'm just letting everybody know. They're definitely breakfast foods. What are you shaking your head at? They are. It's a breakfast treat.
You're eating cannolis in the morning, bro.
What's wrong with you?
I got a recess and I got a question, right? Ready? Recess, I saw Chris Stapleton in Madison Square Garden Friday night.
Ooh.
Holy shit. Wow, what a show. Wow. Like, because my wife really likes Chris Stapleton, and I guess I do now too. Wow, what a show. Like, seriously.
He has a great voice.
Like,
that's awesome.
You know, it was like, it wasn't like country. I thought I was like signing up for like a country music show, and I'm like, whatever. I get to go to the city with my wife. It was not. It was like a very bluesy. Man, what dude went on for 2.5 hours straight, and he's a one-man show. Like, you know, there's a band, but it's him. You know, very impressive. I just need to say, like, holy shit, that was unbelievable. And then, so I'm a city kid through and through, New York, Miami, where I grew up. Like, I don't know anything about like mountains and lakes or anything like that, but I know that I love it. So I just got this house in a lake, and they got bears. There's bears walking around at night. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with any bears. Like, anybody have like any advice on what I should do so that I'm not scared to walk outside my house like at night? Any thoughts? Like, I'm not trying to mess with a bear.
No, you got to buy a gun.
You got to get a bear horn. Bears are actually
horn?
They're scared by loud noises. They're actually pretty timid animals. So like if you hit a bear horn, it's actually, you could Google it and find it online. And you hit it.
I'm not gonna be shooting bears.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not a shot. Not a spray.
Guys was like, get a gun.
Yeah.
Why? People shoot bears. You could shoot bears.
I'm not gonna be shooting any guns in the neighborhood that I just moved
the only bear advice
The
only bear advice I know is if it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back or whatever.
I have black bears by me. Is my understanding.
I don't know where the bears are.
Bear horn, you can get those on Amazon.
Yep. Bear horn. You spray them super loud. Like they're super loud. Then they're very timid.
And then so we should just keep it outside. So if I'm outside, I see a bear, grab the horn.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like you're going to take up hunting in the future.
No. We pay people to do the hunting and the cooking. I just eat them.
They hunt around where you got a house, though. Oh.
Look at this screen.
What happened?
What? I don't know. Where'd JC go? He's gone? JC just did? Okay. Wait, can we bring up my chart for recess, which is slide 36, please? Not a chart, a slide. It's a shame that JC's not here for this because I want him to see. This is a headline that I saw this morning.
What JC? That was.
Yeah. I thought JC would appreciate this. I didn't read the article yet. I'm going to, but I thought it was kind of funny in light of what JC always talks about. So,
you know what? I'm calling bullshit on this because even when I was in college, and it's been a long time, Spencer, you remember, people were like, "Yeah, economics. I don't know what the hell you do with that degree." Like that was 20 years ago. So I don't know.
That's true.
This.
It's true.
I don't know about this.
All right, fair enough.
Economics, even back then, it was like a liberal arts. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know.
Fair enough.
Economists are always going to say the whole uptrend is dead, and you know, like there was Steve, you probably remember back at that time where you have this situation where like the market's moving up, and they're like the debt cycle, these things, and like you could basically explain away the whole bull market, basically from 2009 all the way till right now. They would just explain away the whole bull market.
I did a minor in economics, and it's not much, you know, I'm not like bragging about my minor in economics, but I loved economics and I would have majored in it if it made sense. They didn't even have it as a part of the business school. But economics is fun. Like learning the theory behind all this madness, I think is great. It's an incredible background, and I think it does give you an edge in doing what we do, understanding these things. It's how do you get hired? Where do you go work with your economics degree? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the question. Wait, JC, you missed my recess, which was it's a bear. Apparently, the bull market for economists is over. So, bear bull market for JC is just beginning. Bull market for economists, not so much.
You were
imagine being an economist.
All right. Anyway, that's what I got. Jason, what do you got?
Nothing really. You know, I was just thinking about that whole cycle, you know, talking about like what Steve was talking about and just thinking about economists and just how we all bet against them so damn much as traders. Like it's so important to do that. Like, and I think that's just like the general psychology of all of us that works well in markets is understanding like, hey, a bunch of people might be against you. A bunch of people might be saying like you're wrong on this trade. And basically everybody this entire bull market since we bottomed out has been saying that like the market's over. 2023 we were going into a recession. 2024 we were headed definitely into a recession. Interest rates were going to kill us all, the debt cycle and all these things, and now we're all the way here and the market's at new all-time highs. So just excited about that. Had a good weekend, played some basketball, had a 20-year-old kid smash my arm, so my arm's really not working, so that's about normal. Went to the Ohio State Fair, which was great. You know, it sucked because I can't eat anything. So like just kind of walking around and finding more steak was about all I did. But it was fun hanging out, watching the rodeo and so on. So it was cool.
Watch the rodeo?
Yeah, watch the rodeo, man. You know, you get to see I'm in Ohio, so there's all types of stuff like that. So you get to watch, there's these kids and they basically shoot guns at like balloons and all this stuff. Like it's sitting on a horse, like riding a horse. It's crazy.
I got one more. Guys, listen to this. So we're taking up a new sport here. So we went to Dick's. We were gonna do pickleball. And like there's like a club here. We're gonna do the pickleball. So I'm at Dick's. I've never seen a pickleball racket. I don't know what the ball looks like. So I'm in the pickleball section. Guy like directs me, and I'm like, this can't be right. It's a wiffle ball. It's a wiffle ball with holes in it. Right. And the paddle, which costs like $150, by the way, is a ping pong paddle. And I'm like,
a little bigger.
I had no idea. And I looked at Rose. I said, absolutely not. We're going to go buy tennis rackets like normal people. So we're not doing it.
I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you, Steve.
No pickle. We're going to play real sports.
It's too old. You're getting too old if you start playing pickleball.
I was thinking about it, and I made the decision on the fly. I said, no pickle. So we're going for tennis instead.
Please don't insult wiffle ball ever again in my presence.
Wiffle ball's great.
It is not a wiffle ball.
But you use bats for those.
No, I understand, but the pickleball is not a wiffle ball. It's very different.
Looks like it, doesn't it, though?
Nope.
It's got holes in it.
Yeah, but they're different. If you knew anything about wiffle ball, you would understand the insult. And now you're just being racist.
I could throw
like every white ball with holes in it, You know, like you're just being racist now, and
I
that's
can throw a
that's
mean
not okay.
curveball with that.
You're gonna get us canceled. There's gonna be protests all over the wiffle ball community. We're gonna get canceled.
I also think for a man my age, you're pivoting too much with the pickleball. I don't know if my joints are ready for that.
Zero chance the Achilles can handle that. Strazz's Achilles.
I'll take the bigger court. Yeah. I don't need
all right. We went long today. Let's wrap it up. What do we got? We got Kenny going live at noon. If you're a member of All-Star Charts Gold Rush, you'll get your video with Jason, right? Is that true, Jason?
Just me today. Just me.
Jason doing his thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, allstarcharts.com/Gold Rush, right there on the screen. Jason does a weekly video just for his members with charts just for them. Yeah. That's today at 1 o'clock,
or trades just for them too.
Some trades just for them too. That's sometime. That's this afternoon. I mentioned Kenny Chart Request live at 1 o'clock. Jason's doing CRL today too. Busy day for Jason right here on the channel. And then I mentioned at the top of the show, Herb Greenberg going live with Strazza this afternoon. That'll be at 2:30 Eastern time, talking about scams and things. And that'll be building up to our big live event on Wednesday. The link to which is in the chat and description on YouTube. That's what I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you, chat, as always. Thank you, Caleb Franzen. Thank you, Jason Burrs. Thank you, Kenny Glick. We'll be back tomorrow with the one and only Ari Wald.
Ooh,
gonna be a good time.
Warren Buffett, he said, any company that employs an economist has one employee too many. Shout out, Uncle Warren.
Adios, guys.
Bye, guys.